Hi, everybody. This is Nemodius. I am the leader of the Kingdom Ashes of Creation, and I am so excited to be here with you today because one of my Kingdom members, my number one dragon hitter, my boy Artie, gave me a good idea. We've been kind of tossing around strategy between us in our kingdom to try to help us figure out what are some really good specialized builds to be able to deal with each individual dragon color. So he gave me the idea, hey, why don't we do a series of videos about using the Merc Critmaster build with a little tweak for each dragon to try to help you get over the hump, over the special ability that they each have. So, if you're used to doing Kingdom Defense, you know what I'm talking about. Each dragon color has a different debuff that they apply to you, like yellow dragons apply blind. For me, that's my worst one with this build because I rely on doing big old nasty crits, and when you throw blind on me, that cuts my crit in half. That can be devastating to my total damage output when you add 3 turns, with the blind debuff on me each turn and I can't get it off. Yes, I can do a cleanse, but I can't always get the cleanse when I need it. And yes, I could slot a spell to help me cleanse the debuff, but I think I want to go about this just a little bit different way. And today is going to be the first video in that series. So basically it's going to be a series built around the Merc Critmaster and the tweak that I'm going to make to be able to fight each color dragon effectively. I have a lot of people in my kingdom that are building this build because it works really well and it's pretty awesome. So let's look at that together and I'll show you. Today I am going to be fighting let's look. I think it's purple. Today we're going to be fighting a purple dragon. So for me, the purple dragon's ability is, let me look at my list here. Purple does Hex. Hex halves your spell damage. For this build, that's not really a big deal because I don't really rely on spell damage. I rely on big nasty crits. So I'm still going to do it though, because I'm looking at kind of doing a series on each color and perfecting these builds. So I'm still going to try to tweak it. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm not going to change any gear. I'm going to continue to use the same gear set because I like where I'm at with everything on that. But the way we're going to tweak each build for each color dragon is we're going to throw in one spell at the end that will take advantage of the dragon's color of mana, remove it from the board, and then hopefully do something else if I can find one for each color. And that is take that dragon's mana and create skulls for me. So what that's going to do is that's going to do 2 things. Well, that's going to do 3 things for me actually. It's going to help me with my number one priority, and that is get rid of the dragon's mana. Keep them from using it. So this spell is going to take 6 purple gems and convert to skull gems. That's going to, end result, get rid of his mana. So that right there is worth it alone. The other thing that's really cool about this is in the process of getting rid of its mana, it's going to feed its own spell because this spell relies on purple to generate its mana to get the cost to cast. So that's really cool. The second thing it's going to do for me is it's going to generate more skull gems. 6 more skull gems for me is huge because my crits are huge, and add 6 more skulls onto that and they're going to be really big. I mean, I have crits that are over 1 million each, so yeah, we can really get it going. The third thing that it's going to kind of do in an offhanded manner is whenever I throw 6 more skull gems onto the board, that's going to up the chances that I can actually find a cleanse when I need it. Because with 6 more skulls on top of like 15 or 20 skulls on there already, usually on average, that's going to, increase the chances that I can match a full row. So that's my thinking behind this. And we're going to do this with this build for each color dragon. I'm going to try to find one spell that I can slot in that deals with the mana and hopefully generates skulls in the process. I know that I'm a big proponent of having all 4 green spells on this build because I do not like to give up this. The 4 green spell, 70% poison mastery, and the increase in fill rate on mana. I hate to give that up. And I mean, I'm at the point I was teetering on the fence with this to just not do it because of that. But I'm going to try it and see how it works anyway. I'm decreasing my fill rate on these 3 spells, which are my bread and butter. I have to have these charged up to do work. So, yeah, it's going to be different. I'm going to have to deal with a lower fill rate on these spells, but I'm also not going to have to work so hard to get rid of the enemy's mana and generate skulls. So maybe it'll kind of work out in the wash and be a little bit more effective. We'll see. Okay, so my Kingdom Defense attempt starts in real quick. I think like 5 minutes or something. Okay, 5 minutes. So I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll be right back and we'll take our first turn and see what happens. Okay, and I'm back. So we're just about to start this. Keep in mind this is going to be my first attempt ever at messing up my Crit Master build. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Hopefully it makes it better. But just remember, we are focusing this build for a specific color of dragon, and we're going to test that and see how it works. We're going to steal their mana. We're going to make more skulls. We're going to power our spell in the process. And we're going to hope to do big, nasty, ugly criticals. 1 million plus. Those are the ones I want to see. Overkill mode should be active. Okay, good. And it does look like overkill mode is finally working now because they said the dragon's damage was going to count up and it starts at 0 now. So, ooh, yeah, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the mode we've been needing to be able to hone our builds. So let's get in it. Wish me luck. Now I hear my chat going off now, and my guild is excited because overkill mode is finally working. That's funny. Okay, so let's get into this. First thing I'm going to do is look for the enemy's mana because I want to steal that from them. I've got 2 here and 1 here and 1 here. I can't really do anything with it, so yeah, kind of a nothing burger with their mana on the first turn. So I'll go ahead and pull this. And wow, can't match any more of my mana. My crit percentage at this point is not really high enough that I feel reliable that I'm going to get a crit if I match these skulls. So honestly, I'm just going to leave it how it is. I know I'm leaving a lot of turns on the table, but I just got nothing this turn. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I could go ahead and match this to try to get some defense percentage off my royal armor. So I'll go ahead and at least try that. Okay, so first turn was just kind of nothing. Okay, the dragon's going to get a little bit of mana. He matched 3, I think, was what it was. Can't really do anything with his mana. I need to fill this spell so I can try it, so I'm definitely on the lookout to want to get his mana when I can. I'm going to go ahead and take this because obviously my mana, I need to generate my spells. Okay, here would be a 5 in a row. That would give me an extra action point. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. And I just really don't see a lot. I would go ahead and match some skulls, but like I said, my crit percentage just, it's like, I don't even know what it starts out at. Let's look, because I haven't looked in a while. My critical hit chance starts out at 16. That's, you know, decent to start with, but it'll ramp up. I'm not really wanting to match a bunch of skulls and do a lot of cascading because I'm afraid to get too much of his mana on the board, and if I cascade too much, I may bring just a little bit too much of his mana in. So I'm going to go ahead and just pass again, I guess, until I can get wound up here. Okay, he didn't get any mana that turn, and here I go. I'm going to finally start to get some of his mana. So I'm going to take, actually, I'm going to take my Find Weakness spell, generate me another skull. I'm going to go ahead and grab his mana while I can before I go to messing up the board too much. Trying to figure out a way I could work this piece over here into it, but I don't really think I can. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw down on my Channel Poison and get some more green out here. I need some mana. I'll throw down on Channel Poison, boys. Can't really do much more than that. I'm going to go ahead and take these because these are some big skulls. I don't really want to see them get wasted by him matching them. Okay, we'll try that and we'll see what happens. Throw this one in there too, just for kicks. Okay, so I almost got enough mana to power that spell. If you remember, this is the one that I've added into the build to convert 6 purple gems to skull gems. So whenever I get to use it, it should be glorious, hopefully. Okay, so now I'm going to save my Dirty Blade because I want to use it right after I get some greed going. And I finally got that charged up, so now I can use greed. Before I pop this greed off, I'm going to go ahead and lock these in because I just want to see what's going to happen here. And also, if I pop this greed off, I think I get this mana added to this total. So the act of popping this greed right here should fill this spell for me. Yep. It got 6 mana gems, so it's going to fill. So that's cool. Next turn, I'm going to get the ability to use that if I can. Got 2 purple mana here that I can't really do anything with. I'll go ahead and pop off my Dirty Blade, get me some more skulls. Now you see I'm really starting to fill the board up with skulls. I'm starting to generate. I'm starting to really get some stuff going. Give me some more greed so that I can power Dirty Blade when it's active. And we'll just go ahead and throw this skull in there, and this one in there. And we'll call it good and see what happens. Can't do anything with his mana really, so I will go ahead and take this one though. Get a bonus off my royal armor. Okay, 342,000, so I'm starting to get some crits. He looks like he got a little mana from somewhere. Inflict Hex, so he's going to do Hex on me next turn. So right now I could use this, but it would only give me 3, 4, 5. Well, it would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually, it's a perfect time to use it. So let's pop this off, and we'll start to see the effect of this spell. Boom. All his mana is pretty much gone, except for these 2. That was amazing. That helped me clean that off. That worked really well. Just kind of, I don't know when it's really as productive as it can be when you have like 2 purple on the board. Maybe you want to hold it one more turn until you can get more. I don't know. It's kind of, you know, up in the air. I'm trying to feel this build out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to lock this one in and this one, and then I'm going to throw some more green out there so I can generate some mana. I'm going to go ahead and lock that one, lock that one, lock this one, lock this one. And I can't really do anything with these two purple mana. And I don't know if it's a smart idea to go ahead and join them together by moving this blue to get that royal bonus, because then that will make it easier for him to match. But I think I'm going to go ahead because that royal bonus is good. I want to get that from matching big gems, increase to my armor or whatever it is. Okay, I'm not sure if this will pop the board over, but we'll see what happens. Yep, got a cleanse, so I got rid of my hex. Or I didn't have hex yet. Never mind, I just now got hex. Let's see, how many turns? For 1 turn for each purple gem on the board. Okay, this is really cool because that makes this spell even more important. Whenever I know, I just now realized something that I didn't figure out before. Whenever I know that he has this full and that he's just going to pop hex on me next turn, I'm going to use this if I can, because the more of his purple gems I take off the board, the less turns he is able to inflict hex on me, because it's 1 turn for each purple gem on the board. So right now he only got 2 turns of hex on me because of these 2, and that's it, because the turn before I cleared off all those purple gems. So that's cool. Okay, so let's increase our crit. We're going to go back to normal operation here. And we're going to create some skulls. I'm going to go ahead and pop that off. See where we're at. See what we want to lock in before we throw some more green out there. I'm going to go ahead and do greed too. That way I can possibly get the ability to get rid of these. And I just got it. Oh, and I got them both. That's cool, because this one will kill that one and this one will kill this one. So I'm going to snipe his only 2 pieces of mana on the board. How sweet is that? Okay, so let me try to lock this one in. No way. Yeah, right here. I'll lock this one in right there. That way I don't mess with that one. Okay, so there went his 1 piece of mana. I got that mana to power my spell. Here goes his other piece. I got that to power my spell. He had a couple more drop in, but they're just 1 piece manas each and not big gems, so that's a better situation for me, honestly, than him having big gems on the board. Okay, so now I can cast this spell, and let's have some reds turn to skulls and generate some green mana. I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in first, this one in first, this one in first, and then I'm going to pop it off. I lost a skull right there that I should have locked in, but oh well. Get some mana here. And wow, I'm not going to be able to really generate any more mana. I got some cooking already, so it probably will be enough to fill up my spells, I think. We'll see. Can't get that one. Can get this. Can get that one. Okay, let's see my crit. Boom! 544,000. He didn't really get any mana because he had some drop in, but it didn't really do him a lot of good because I'm just fixing to take it again. And that is so sweet. So I think this is really maybe going to be a good deal here. So let's keep playing it out and see what happens, though. Because we may discover here in a little bit that it may not be good, but I'm suspecting that it's going to be good, because right now I got it charged up. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to take almost all of his mana except for 1 piece off the board. And you know what? I'm going to do it now. Just to do it, because I can. And it's also a spell. So when I cast it, I get the ability to possibly turn a red into a skull because of my bandolier, my Asgard bandolier, which is an awesome piece of equipment for this build. Okay, so now I'm going to generate some more skulls. Boom. Possibly change red into skulls, which I just did. So this is going to be a big crit. I've got 10 turns to lock all this in and then generate some more mana. And he's got one piece of mana on the board. I'm going to lock in some skulls and then I'm going to throw down greed real quick to see where it lands, because it would be hilarious if greed lands right here. Oh shoot, I accidentally cycled the board. Well, I did a 640,000 crit, so that was cool. I didn't get the chance to pop this off though like I wanted to, because I didn't realize I was going to cycle the board. So that kind of sucked. But oh well. And the greed didn't land where I needed it to. Or yeah, it did actually. I can snipe this one from him. So I'll go ahead and lock this in and then do that. Okay, so I sniped that one piece and then another one dropped down in, but that's okay, no big deal. You know, and don't be afraid to move your greed gems around if you need to, because you may be able to move them into a position where you can snipe more mana. Like here, I'm going to move it here, and now I'm going to be able to snipe his mana. And he got 2 more. So yeah, sometimes they get the cascades, so yeah, it doesn't always work out to your advantage. But that's okay, because now I have a spell that can steal it all, 6 of them at a time. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put some green out there, possibly change some red, but it didn't happen. So now let's generate some mana, because we need to make sure we're keeping everything charged up. This build seems to be working really well so far. With the way the board's sitting right now, I'm pretty comfortable with where it's at. I'm just going to go ahead and end turn. Crit, 372. Can't hurt me. Fallen shoulders are keeping me topped off. You notice my health is never even dropping below 10 million. Or 10,000, I mean. I wish I had 10 million health. Okay. Raise my crit. We have 8 stacks of greed, so I have plenty of greed to work my dirty blade. I just wanted to look at where his mana was real quick. I think I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in so I don't accidentally mess it up. And get some skulls. And we'll go ahead and lock this right here in. And then I'll generate some green. We'll get this one. Get this one. Okay, so this is going to be my last turn, so let's make sure this is what I want to do. I'm getting purple. I'm getting all the green I can get. I've got all my skulls matched. Alright, let's go. See what my crit is. It's getting bigger each time. 548. Pretty soon I'll be popping off a 1 mil crit if I stay alive long enough. He's getting some mana matched. I'm not really sure where he's getting this. He must be getting it off the cascades. He's also got a spell where he's going to next turn convert 7 skull gems to purple gems. Not really sure about how I feel about him using that, because that spell right there could allow him in 1 cascade to fill this and then it would be over. So I may need to pay attention to this. And being as I have this spell active, I probably ought to get rid of all his mana. So I'm going to do that. So now all his mana is gone and all these are mine. That's amazing. Gonna do some more skulls. Gonna try to match them all up so that I don't leave any skulls, so that he can't pop this off and get a big skull. Skull interchange on the coming up turn. I've got 8 stacks of greed. I don't really feel like I need to do any greed right now. There's nothing to snipe, so I'm going to just hang on to this for a minute, because I don't want to block any available spots from what I'm actually trying to do. What I want to do now with my 10 turns, being as I know he's going to use this next, is I want to try to get rid of as many of these skulls as I can. So I'm going to get this one. I'm going to get this one. And I've got to figure out a way to get as many of these as I can off this board. Okay, so I'm going to get this one, and this one, and this one. So what that right there is going to do is that's going to allow me to take every single skull off the board. It just was great that it worked out that way, because his next spell is going to convert whatever skulls are there from the cascade to mana gems. Hopefully he doesn't get a bunch. I am loath to generate a bunch of green mana right now, because if I do, I'm going to match the whole board, and then that's going to be even more spots for when the cascade happens for purple and skulls to drop in, and that may be the end of me. But I need mana to power my spells, and I don't really have a lot going on. So I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gosh, this is a tough decision. Do I do this or not? I'm going to go ahead and do it. So now I'm going to have a bunch of mana there, bunch here, and that cycled the board. So we'll see what happens. Big crit, some purple dropped in. He cast his spell, but I'm not really sure if he casted. He must have cast his spell before the cascade happened, because there was only 2 skulls. It doesn't say up to 7, it says convert 7. So if he would have cast that after the cascade, then there should have been a lot more skulls on this board, because there's plenty of purple mana out here. So I'm not really sure how that works, or if it even works. Who knows? It may be broke, but if his skill is broke, that's fine with me. I don't care, because I want to do damage to him. I don't want him hitting me. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're going to try to get as much of his mana as we can, because obviously he's sitting really close to getting Spirit Breath powered up. We don't want that. So we're going to get as much of this off the board as we can. Can't really do a lot with this right here, so I'm going to go ahead and do my thing. Convert it to red. That's good. Let's get some more skulls. Hopefully the skulls will pop in over the purple, and they didn't. Let's see if we can. What do we want to lock in? I want to lock this one and this one. And I think I'll go ahead and just leave the rest how they are, so that I can have some turns to deal with green. Let's throw greed out there and see if I can snipe some of his mana. Okay, I can snipe these 2 pieces with this piece of greed. So we're going to do that. And 2 more popped in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and snipe this piece and this piece, I think. And this piece will end up being sniped as well. And 2 more popped in. Dadgum, the luck for him. Snipe that piece. I'm going to go ahead and snipe this piece. Okay, so now we've got it worked down to where there's 1 left, and I'm going to try to snipe it and see what happens. Okay, so another one dropped in up here. But that's okay, because once I move... Well, no, I can't, because these reds are locked in place, so never mind that thought. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to lock in these skulls right here. And I'm going to throw the green out and see what happens now. Hopefully it'll change this purple to green, and it did. So that was a perfect result for what I needed. So now he has no mana on the board, because I'm going to take it all. I'm going to power up my spell. Next cascade, if he doesn't match a bunch on the cascade and fill this up, I'm going to take it all from him. So that's ideally what I want to see happen next turn. I want to see him not match a bunch on the cascade, and he did not. But yeah, and that worked out perfect. Okay, awesome. And in between there, I had a 764,000 crits. So perfect result. The spell charged up. Now I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of mana away from him. Hopefully I'll get this one in the process as the 6th that it picks. So let's do it. Oh, and I didn't get the big one. That's okay, though, because now the big one's got nothing to match, so that works out. All right, we're going to up our crit. There's no red to convert to skulls, so unfortunately that's not going to happen. But let's create more, and hopefully we can get a skull to drop in here. Nope, didn't happen. Now let's do greed and see where the greed lands. Okay, can't really snipe anything with this, but can I move it? No, can't really move it. I'm going to move this one and put it down on the bottom though, so it's harder to match. Can't really do anything with the greed, so I'm just going to kind of leave it there. It's 2 spots purple, can't cascade in, so at least I guess look at it that way. I'm going to lock this in and this in. I'm going to go ahead and lock these 2 in and then drop some green. See what happens. Did not change that one, but that's okay. I'll leave it to power this spell. Hopefully I'll get to match it. Alright, so I got 4 turns left. I'm going to get this big one. I'm going to get this one. And what's left? I'm going to leave these greed on here just in case I need them to help me snipe next turn. We'll go ahead and cycle the board. We had some purple drop in. He didn't get anything though. And we had almost a 700,000 crit in the process. So this is working very well. I may actually end up having so much going on that I hit the time limit on this turn because there's just so much to do with this build. Okay, so right now I don't have this powered up yet, but I would like to get it going there. So I'm going to go ahead and snipe this one. And I'm going to snipe this one. And that dropped in some purple, but I can match it, so it's no big deal. I'm going to snipe this one. And some more purple dropped in. Oh, and I'm going to get a cleanse out of the deal. And this is hilarious. This is irony in its best form right here, because the mana that he used to put hex on me, I'm going to now use to cleanse his hex. That is rich, boys. Rich. Okay. I got 5 minutes to complete the battle, so let's speed it up. Let's convert some skulls. Okay. Let's increase our crit. Okay. Let's lock in some skulls. I got to start playing faster because there's no telling how long this can go on. This build is working really well. Alright, let's drop in some green. Well, let me lock this one real quick because I want to get some big crits going. I want to see some of those over 1 million crits. Okay, the green didn't take care of that purple, but that's okay. I'm going to lock this one in, and then my last move will cycle the board. We're going to do this one. I got the cleanse, I got rid of the hex, I got some skulls. I got a 1.5 million crit right there, boys. And it cost me because he actually filled his spell. So next turn I will die. But I think I've had a really good run with this build. 1 turn, and I'm not even really sure what my damage is going to be. I'll find out here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. This is going to be my last turn because I know he's going to do Spirit Breath next turn and kill the hero. So what we're going to do is try to generate as many skulls as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this one and increase my crit percentage and crit damage. Try to convert a red to a skull. I don't think that happened. I didn't see it. I'm going to use this one and I'm going to convert all his purple to skulls. I'm going to use this one and convert skulls. And we had those 2 red pop as well. And now this is my last turn, and look at all the skulls that I'm going to be able to throw in there and make a huge hit. So right now, that's all the skulls on the board. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this greed off, though. And actually, I'm going to throw some more greed on the board. Because what I might be able to do is get a few more skulls to drop in. Got that one right there. I saw it. And it cycled the board. Dadgummit. Oh well, 1.5 million again. Okay, boys. So a 7.8 million turn. With the addition of that new purple spell in the mix to help me steal his mana, generate skulls, control the board, I think that this was a big success. So I'll let you judge that, but I'm judging it a success. So, yeah, looky there. That was a good one. Yes, I know this is only a 15, but next tier the dragon plateaus anyway, so I'm not far off the maximum potential of the dragon. So, to me, this is a good result. So, I'm going to call it good, and I'll let you guys hit the comments and let me know what you think. And if you can see anything that you think would work better, please let me know, because I'm only going to get better if you guys share your thoughts with me. And I am Nemodius, and that was it for the Purple Crypt Master focused build. Thanks for your time.